Welcome back, party people, to Lincoln Square. It's Tuesday night. It's 5 o'clock on the East Coast. I got Joe Trippi. I got Ryan Wiggins from the Lincoln Project, from the Two Joes podcast, from that Trippi show. And folks, Donald Trump, it's only 48 hours into the week, and he is having one of the worst weeks he's ever had. We got war criminal Pete. We got a terrible cabinet meeting today. We got this guy loose as a goose. He is not doing well, people. And we have more material tonight than we can probably handle. But this was today, fighting the endless war on wokeness. It's our glorious president, the most amazing physical specimen to ever hold the office. God almighty. He also resembles a certain famous animal. This cat.
Cat's more awake, Rick. Cat's more awake.
But they both smell like a litter box, Brian.
They do. They do.
Oh, shit. Well, guys, thanks for coming on. And I want to get the week started just by talking about this amazing. I mean, we've been watching Trump's numbers in the polls collapse over the weekend, over the holiday weekend. We saw that he's now broken 35. I mean, Joe, we're now in the catastrophic impact phase of the polling decline. Talk to us a little bit about where you see that.
I have never, I'm going back. Look, I've been doing this since the 70s, so my age is showing there. But I have never, even Carter, through hell in a handbasket from 76 to 80, never had numbers this low, particularly with independents. It's just amazing to see how forcefully independents have moved away from Trump and MAGA. And it's literally, when you look at you're talking about 35, but to get there, given the numbers that Republicans still, you shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they must have had a good reason. The only way you get there is if independents are like at 20 in the 20s on his favorable. So, and in the 70s on unfavorable. And that just shows you how deep a hole they're in right now.
Ryan, this is something you and I talk about all the time. There's an aspect of Trump that when the economy was better, the suburban moms were like, I'll put the crazy stuff aside because, things seem okay. We're doing okay. We got a tax cut. We're doing okay. But now, isn't the insanity just like the boat anchor on all these Republicans now? They're wrapped around this guy. They can't get away from him.
That is exactly right. And, I'm really excited, Rick, because it's in Florida and in Alabama. We are going to have Lincoln candidates running
we are.
On that.
We are.
On that exact thing, that this guy is a weak loser. And I am really excited that David Jolly's in Florida. I'm super excited that I think Doug Jones is announcing this week or last week, Joe.
It'll be coming up sometime soon, but
he got a soft announcement. Doug Jones, friend of the family here, guys.
Yeah. Huge friend of the family.
If you guys are not out there following Doug yet, Doug was a guy who won the U.S. Senate race in Alabama in 2018. 17, right, excuse me. God, I'm so old. Time flies. Up against a pedophile adjacent Republican. Who knew?
It's so weird.
It's so weird. I just never see those in the Republican Party. But he is a great salt of the earth, no bullshit, truly good-hearted guy. And I got to tell you, that is a state that could use a governor that gives a damn about the people of the state.
Yeah, that was my proudest moment in my career, actually, was in 2017, being part of that campaign. And I'm so excited to see him get in. And it's against Tommy
Tuberville.
Who
lives in Florida.
Lives in Florida. And is a great stock trader too, by the way. So,
he got really rich.
Something else that happens a lot in the Republican Party, these days.
Who knew? That is going to be a real marquee race. And we got a couple other Lincoln Project Republicans out there. Our friend Fred Wellman running in Missouri for Congress,
absolutely,
in a seat that is getting competitive now.
Yep.
So we're, folks, as Trump gets weaker, the party behind him, because they've always lived in his shadow now for a decade. And Ryan, I want to start with you on this question. That shadow where they never disobeyed him, where they knew if they said a word against him, they were going to be like Marjorie Taylor Greene or whomever, thrown off the island, disappear politically. They seem to be unable to break that spell even now as he collapses. They seem to still be unable to get out from the blast radius.
It makes me really excited. I'm really excited about
And I
next
feel
year.
so bad for them.
Yeah, it's just so terrible and I'm so sad. But I'm really excited because I think it gives us such an opportunity next year. I mean, I tell people this in Florida all the time. It's like, they're going to have to, all of the Republicans who are running this year, they have that albatross around their neck. They're going to have to eat every single shit sandwich that Trump serves up.
Yeah.
And he's been serving them up like today with like 160 messages. Like
Oh my God. Guys.
He has been serving up the shit sandwiches. And the Democrats aren't going to have to eat those. The Democrats are just going to have to decide that they want to win in spite of themselves.
You know, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was going to say, look, the one thing we've seen repeatedly now is, in Virginia running 7 points ahead of the generic, in New Jersey 5 points ahead. And we'll see what happens in Tennessee 7. I know there's a lot of hope out there, but the reality is it's a plus 22 GOP district. So the question is, hey, win or lose, if it's like 3 or 4 or 5 points, that just shows again that the Democrats are running way ahead of the generic
wildly.
And this was a Trump plus 22 district, so we'll see what happens there. I know a lot of people are rooting for that win, but man, even if it's close, it just really.
Well, I mean, the amount of resources.
And
they've thrown at it. Yeah.
Look, and Afton Ben has run a great campaign.
Yeah.
She's been a really aggressive campaigner, which I think is great. She's also had that I fucked up before, no bullshit attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take that into that fight. And the other thing I like about it is that NRCC and a bunch of Republican super PACs have dumped like $30 million into that. They ain't getting back.
Yeah.
The resources they're having to dump into this race that should be a gimme.
Oh, yeah, it should have been a gimme.
Huge.
Look,
I mean, Mike Johnson has been there campaigning in that district. I don't know that I'd want Mike Johnson campaigning for me.
Yeah, I don't know that that I really think she won't fall a little short. I hope, obviously we all hope she pulls it out. But man, if she falls short, no one out there should think like, well, what, well, that was a dump. No, that's
right, Joe.
A big deal that this is close. Yeah. And if she wins it, guys, if she somehow pulls it out, and that would be a miracle, but if she does, that just tells you how deep in the shitter MAGA and Trump are right now.
And folks, just remind yourselves as this year goes forward, the things that looked impossible after Trump won in 2016, people were like, it's a Republican realignment, it's over, nothing will ever change. And then 2018, they lost 42 seats.
Yep.
And then after 2024, people were like, oh, Trump now has Hispanic voters. He now has black voters. He now has all these working class voters. He now has all these young men. Every single one of those groups has bled out. The Hispanics, African Americans, and white men 18 to 40, the numbers have cratered.
Yep.
And Joe,
independents, moderates, all of it. Yep.
Independents and moderates, folks. That's the Lincoln Project's lane.
Yeah.
That's where we go hunting. Yeah. Those are the people those moderate Republicans, those independents, those conservative Democrats who might be tempted to vote Republican on issues in their district or their state. Those people are now gettable. And as Trump collapses, we were talking about this last night, working on a program for next year last night, starting to talk about we've got our 26 and 26 plan to go after these House districts, but we've got a bigger plan because now we see more opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that bigger plan, folks, is to do what the Lincoln Project does best, to get in our lane. Well, the thing we do best is to fuck with Donald Trump relentlessly, tirelessly, cruelly every single day. So we're building out a plan for next year where we don't just do it, hit him one day and wait a week or wait 2 weeks, hit him again. We're building out a plan to do it in a consistent long flow between the end of this year and election day of next year, or until he drops dead. I'll take either option. And at that point, because we know his behavior is getting worse.
Yes.
He's getting crazier. He's getting kookier. Guys, my all-time day where I tweeted more times than I tweeted any other time since 2009 when I joined Twitter, I tweeted 110 times.
Not in 1 hour, though. It
wasn't not 1 hour, not in one day, or not one thing. And about half of those were retweets and comments.
Yeah.
I had friends call me like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
I think I was one of those.
I think you were, because we were in Park City, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm fine." You're like, "Are you caffeinated?" Like, a little. But Donald Trump last night pulled that shit off in 5 hours in the middle of the night on True Social, over and over and over again, including like tweeting shit like Michelle Obama rigged the auto pin machine. What the fuck?
I mean, that seems like top priority of a former first lady who wasn't even in the White House. Like,
look, she's very athletic and clever. She could have ninja'd in there. And
I mean, no, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Rick, I wanted to ask you a question though.
Yeah.
So, because we get this question all the time from our donors, we get it through our info account and we get it when we're doing calls and whatever. Why would we focus on his weakness and not on his threat to democracy? Why would we spend our time messing with his head instead of messing with other people? Do we believe that messing with him gives us a heads up and a step forward with these 26 and 26? How do they work together?
I think that's a really good question, Ryan. And it is honestly down to when Trump shows his real behavior in public. Mm-hmm. All those voters, those moderates in particular, mm-hmm. those independents in particular, they're like, "Oh shit, no, I don't want that. That's not what I want." They want lower prices on groceries. That's not happening. They want better gas prices. No matter what Trump says, it's not happening. They want stability and consistency. That's not happening. And so the best illustration of that is when Donald Trump loses his shit and starts wildly attacking people. When he loses his mind and starts firing people because he doesn't think they're loyal enough. When we engineer these narratives that are out there that make him look internally for people who like might take the throne or who haven't said the right thing and haven't kissed his ass the right way, all those things add up, and it makes those Republican candidates out there in the states have to defend it. And they got to go and go, well, what he really meant when he said that we should hang Barack Obama was not but hum. They can't do it. They can't change their communications because then he'll come at them.
That's right.
So we want to put him in a box of craziness so that they'll be in a box as well. And if they're in that box, if they're in that space where they can't play defense because he's flailing everywhere because of we've gotten in his head, we're going to have a 40-seat year, not a 7 or 8 seat year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I believe that. I think we're headed that way if we can keep it up.
And we just have to emasculate him. I mean, that's part of it too, right? You emasculate this guy by laughing at him, not with him. And you do that, and that weakens him with his base too, because that base feeds that masculinity, crazy crap.
Like I've been saying for a long time, though, the whole real problem here is like it's all tied up in like alligator Alcatraz, where he has to keep feeding that beast that wants it tougher, meaner, more vicious. Let's go kill him twice in the water if that's what we got to do. That kind of whole thing.
Yep.
And every time he does that, that's what's pushing those independents, that gives us the window into those moderates, Republicans, and the others that we can go in and push away, and it's working. And so that in a lot of ways, he keeps feeding that. By feeding the beast, he's helping us with our targets to move people away. And that's what's working here right now.
I'm just really excited about next year. Like,
I am too. And look, we get calls every year, folks, from campaigns all up and down. Like, can you do something for us? Can you help us do this or that? And sometimes, but we can't really take those calls a lot of the time because we're a super PAC.
Yep.
We have a lot of friends. We talk to a lot of people, and sometimes people want us to do things that aren't our lane. Like, hey, will you help us register voters? Well, that's not what we're good at. We are good at telling stories and setting narratives that the Democrats are not always as good at doing. We go out and we do those things, and as a coincidental matter, those things drive Trump out of his damn mind. So it is really something that and we've learned a lot of lessons since 2020. Yeah, TV and advertising and our spots, our ads for digital advertising are incredibly important.
Yes.
But so is the social media stuff we do.
Mhm.
So is the press that we do, because Joe and Stuart and I and Ryan, we're all on TV all the time, talk, nonstop, trying to tell those big stories. We do these podcasts and these streaming shows in part to help you folks out there in the world compete against this media machine that MAGA has built that always tells them what to say and do and think.
Yep.
And we try to give you tools to fight back on what the zombies are saying to you every day.
Yeah, because the Democratic Party does not do that. I mean, it just doesn't have a information distribution kind of flow that Lincoln Square and Lincoln Project and others out there are sort of filling that vacuum. But it's a much needed vacuum, because I as a Democrat who joined Lincoln Project for that reason, actually, that the strength of the messaging just isn't there for this fight. I mean, it's just not. And I think you see elements starting to emerge, and leaders starting to emerge, but a lot of it, I think, are people that are like following our lead. Oh, if Lincoln Project, let's follow that, makes sense. Let's do it.
Gavin Newsom's doing it beautifully right now.
I mean,
he's following our exact playbook.
And you've got a lot of these folks that are out there running these races. And I know already in Florida, you got David Jolly, and in Missouri, you got Fred Wellman. You've got a lot of these folks. They're combining being direct with people on social media, not taking any of the culture war bullshit bait, and talking about those things that underpin everything: affordability, the economy, stability, families. And if you take away the idea that these Republican candidates are good on the economy, that's it. That's the ball game.
Trump was the ad today on affordability.
Yeah, Trump was out there really helping on that one today.
Yeah, thanks for writing my ads there, Donald. Do we have that? Do we have that clip, guys? Do we have Trump doing his affordability humana? That's a technical term we use in media.
Yes.
Oh, we don't have that clip. Sorry, folks.
It was a good one.
Trump
Google it.
Affordability is a Democrat. It's a Democrat scam. They talk about that word, but have I told you about my cognitive test? Because it was perfect. Let's. I know we have the cognitive test. I know we have.
Yeah, we got that.
I got all A's, everything. But they said to me, "Would you like to take a cognitive test?" I said, "Is it hard?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Well, I'm a very smart person. Who was the last president to take one? No president has ever agreed to take one. Because when you get into the mid-questions, meaning, 10, question number 10, 11, 12, 28, 30, they get harder and harder. And they said, "Would you like to do it?" I said, "Well, no reason to do it. Nobody's ever done it. I'll do it maybe, but there's really no reason." They said, "Sir, the problem is this is Walter Reed Hospital. And that's a military hospital. And that means that things are, sort of open. It's not like private where you have, if you do poorly, we'll have to, probably you'll find out." I said, "I won't do poorly. I'm a smart person, not a stupid person." And as the doctor will tell you, I aced it. Right, Susie? I aced. I got every question right.
Oh my God.
I got all A's.
Straight
Person,
A's.
woman, man, camera, TV.
That's the thing. Do they even give A's?
I did that in aerospace physics class. I mean, it was just, I aced the whole thing. I really did.
Listen, I folks, we cut that short.
Yeah,
because
believe it or
your
not,
time is valuable, and that went on and on and on, much longer than you could have imagined. He's probably still talking in the background somewhere right now, but that weakness is also coming when he's at this moment where they're about to do something that's really going to divide the MAGA base. They got in a lot of trouble this week. They're still in a lot of trouble because Pete Hegseth has been busy war criming. I mean, have you guys ever seen a more clumsy walk back than you're watching? They're trying to throw the head of Special Operations Command under the bus. I mean,
yeah, it was all his fault. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to make sense when you're drunk. I mean, give him a chance. It's hard to do it when you are constantly intoxicated.
The thing is, when it's gone from, yeah, we did it, I'm going to post cartoon memes about it all weekend, to, well, I didn't really see it. I ordered the first strike, but I wasn't in the room, to, I saw all the strikes on TV, and they just keep changing. They just keep changing their stories every minute of the day. And even Republicans in the House and the Senate are like, nope, Brother Pete's coming to testify.
Yeah, this tells you the lameness that's starting to set in around Trump. I mean, we can't take that for granted, but because we got to fight. But the thing is, it's clear now that there are real divisions that are starting to break out, and it's starting to weaken. I think it could work against him on turnout in the midterms too, where they're just not excited about the crap that they're seeing.
Well, that's one of the things I was thinking about earlier today is little Marco's war in Venezuela, which is what he wants to run on for 28 for president, folks. Just mark my words. That's Marco's selling proposition in 2028. I defeated the Venezuelan threat. Okay. But they're about to go to war in Venezuela, which the MAGA base saw one survey this week, or last week, excuse me, before the holiday, saw one survey this week that 72% of MAGA voters say they don't want a war with Venezuela. And yet Trump, Miller, and Marco apparently want to go nuke Caracas or something. I think you're exactly right, Joe. I think it's going to really bang turnout badly. And Ryan, you are from a military community. You know this world very well as well. These folks are starting to get really pissed off. They're being thrown under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting really pissed off. They're being put into a war in the Caribbean where there is no legitimate threat, no matter what Kristi Noem said today when she goes, Mr. President, hitting those boats has saved hundreds of millions of lives.
No.
Math, Kristi. Math, honey. So anyway, Ryan, talk to me about that, because a lot of the folks in the military community are really starting to break off of this Trumpian thing. Even though there's a cliche that they're with him, I think since the beginning, it has really started to hurt him this year.
I'll tell you, it really started with the generals, with their meeting with the generals. Yeah. And the military saw that. They watched that. And it was so insulting. And it's almost as if Trump and company think that our military is stupid. And our military members are so brave.
Oh, no.
Are not stupid people. They have signed up for this. They are so much more strategic than Trump could ever be. And they're also they were just furloughed without pay, or they got some of it. But they have been treated like absolute.
And they just saw their counterparts being thrown under the bus.
Yeah,
legal orders
for Hexeth and the president. I mean, they know, and so I think. And by the way, remember, those poor 6 members of the Senate and House who said, "Hey," who got in trouble because they said you should don't follow illegal orders. Guess what? They're throwing everybody who did follow those orders under the bus and denying that they gave them.
Here's the other thing. Today, just before I came on the show with you guys, I had somebody from one of my intelligence world signal channels say to me, have you seen this? It's a quote from Pete Hegseth during Barack Obama's presidency where he says, I would encourage our troops to disobey orders from this president.
I'm sure Mark Kelly has something to say about
that.
Yeah.
Good luck. By the way, guys, can I just have a Mark Kelly fanboy moment?
Can we please?
He has absolutely crushed the last 10 days.
Absolutely.
Crushed it.
Yes.
That's how you message, folks. Plain English, right out in front. Fuck you, not fuck me, right in their face every day. I mean, Joe, that's a really refreshing kind of Democratic candidate. I think can win in bigger places.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're seeing more and more of that every day from different people in the party. And I think the victories in Virginia and New Jersey emboldened. I mean, it kind of weakened the MAGA side, but emboldened Democrats to say hell yeah. And get engaged. And I think those two things are, one, exciting and energizing Democratic turnout. We'll see what that does in Tennessee tonight. And at the same time, I think really, again, I get a sense that the energy within MAGA is starting to dissipate. And if it dissipates enough and the energy on the other side, who knows what can happen in Tennessee and other places, regardless of how close that race is. It'll be interesting because I think it's going to tell us a lot about potential turnout in in 2026.
Trump's
100%.
peaked. He has peaked. It does not get, he has peaked. And it is not going to get better for him or for the Republicans going forward. He has so much ground to make up. I mean, there was something that came out, I think it was the Gallup poll yesterday. And it was like the most any sitting president has ever been able to make up by the midterms was like 5 points. And that does not get him anywhere close to where he needs to be to keep the House and probably the Senate. So,
well, we talked about this too, though, is that, you know, again, through every presidential cycle I've ever been involved in, the you know, when there was an economy that was not doing well, and they claimed it was turning, it's turning. The fact has always been that even if it is turning, even if it does turn, it takes 6, 7, 8 months for people to feel it. And people are not feeling it. First of all, it's not turning. That's the first part.
That's step A.
But I'm saying, like, so there's no sign at all out there that somehow gonna, you know, Bassett today was out there talking about, he admitted that it's crap right now, but it'll turn by next year, was what he was saying in his statement. Yeah, I've seen that before. I've been on the sides that had to say that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I can recall in 2006 working a bunch of congressional races and getting that briefing at the White House one day with, you know, Rove, the economy's moments from turning around, and every one of these congressional guys is like, we're fucked, aren't we? Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. But
I think it gives us a lot of fodder.
Yep.
And it gives our social team, and guys, I'm going to give some love to my social team because my social team is the best in the business, and they have been on fire. They're always on fire, but today especially, they have been on fire. If you have some time, go back and look through our tweets and our all of our posts today. They will have you laughing. Don't have a glass of wine while you're doing it. You will
just spit it out.
but I mean, that has given them so much fodder to play with, and it is so much fun to watch it. Because I mean, it's watch it. This would be a lot scarier if they were smarter, right? If the Trump administration were more intelligent, more strategic, this would be a lot scarier. The good news is we have doofuses trying to pull this off. And so it's kind of comedy. And it's really important that the people, American people, do not give this guy the fear that he's craving. He is a buffoon. He is the clown. And it's important that we laugh our way through it, because laughing at him emasculates him, it weakens him. And then that is how we get his voters to stay home next year. And if we take back the House, he's dead in the water.
Yeah. And you know, he will whipsaw now on affordability. I promise you, the second he said that, Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita and Tony Fabrizio and all the other people around him in the political side were like, fuck.
Yep.
And they went back to him and were like freaking out and begging and pleading, please unwind this. Let's figure out how to reverse this.
Too bad it's already a Democratic hoax. He's already put it out there. Yeah. That's already fodder to use next year.
Yeah. And look, just because he retracts it doesn't mean we're not going to use it, because he said it.
I
also want to.
He says it repeatedly, and then he flips, and then he says it repeatedly again. So it's like,
imagine saying that right after Thanksgiving week, where everyone just ate shit on their grocery bill. I mean, like, affordability. Like,
well, that is one of the things too. It's like when you combine the weakness and the craziness and the affordability thing, and all that stuff. You know, you end up with a toxic soup, because the corruption stuff, folks, is not going away. It is getting bigger every day. And when even people who are Trump allies, like Jamie Dimon, are like, no, I'm not paying for this fucking ballroom. What are you talking about? It's corrupt.
Yep.
No, but you also have, you know, like everybody is getting their healthcare premium notices right now. I mean, it's happening right now, and you can't. So he's saying affordability, it's a Democratic scam.
Right.
And, you know,
we do have that video now. Let's play the affordability video.
We should play that video.
Yeah, let's roll that.
Word affordability is a con job by the Democrats. They say affordable. I watched the other day where some very low IQ congresswoman talked about affordability. She had no idea. Their prices were much higher. The word affordability is a Democrat scam.
That's powerful. That was some powerful.
I mean, guys, that is the quip that launched 1,000 ads.
I was just saying, can we play that in every rural community in America?
You know what? I mean, I can see the farmer looking up at the camera. It's not a scam to me. I can see the mom at the grocery store. It's not a scam to me, Mr. President. And on and on. That is an easy lift, folks, and we're going to make that lift.
Well, you saw with the Epstein survivors. It's not a hoax, Mr. President. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, this is all starting to come right back at them because people know. I mean, when you get that premium notice, it's not a scam.
And you got Republicans now desperately trying to save the ACA, which is like, if there's ever been a world where the worm ate its own tail, that's it. I mean, these guys are like, please extend ACA for 2 years, please, so we don't get destroyed. Because that's the other thing that's going to get hung around their necks is you can't afford to get your kids health care. You're having to go to the emergency room with your kids. It's on him and on them. You mentioned Epstein, and I just want to bring up something that the beautiful Renee mentioned last night and caught, because she was looking at the White House Christmas decorations and sort of gacking.
Oh yeah.
And we found this image. Let's show that. Show that.
It's so gaudy.
So, as she said, so the Christmas tree with Be Best ornaments and butterflies. Let's go back so I can read the actual. I can't read that fast. But long story short, the blue butterfly and the butterfly itself has become a symbol of survivors, including Virginia Giuffre, who founded an organization to help these other survivors of the sexual assault by Jeffrey Epstein and his allies. The butterflies become their symbol. And so, as Renee said to me, do you think Melania's sending Donald a message here? It's like another prenup negotiation or something, because they use blue butterflies on a Be Best tree. The irony, it burns people.
It does burn.
Yeah.
It does burn. So did the little white balls that said Be Best written in Sharpie, like a kindergartner.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Nothing says Be Best
child.
like that.
Yeah. Well,
folks, speaking of Epstein, though, on Two Joes tomorrow at 3 o'clock live, we're having Ro Khanna on the.
Oh, he's so good.
Joes.
Yeah, you'll love it. So, he's so great.
Tune in tomorrow at 3.
Love it. And folks, stay tuned for Ryan's coming podcast, because we just do those podcasts. And Two Joes is an amazing show. That you guys have good, like, and I say this as a grumpy old guy, chemistry. It's amazing.
Yeah, we
it's
do.
Amazing. I love it. All right, everybody, listen, we're going to let y'all go, and let's keep our fingers crossed for Afton tonight in Tennessee. It's a long shot, but the fact that she competed in such a great race, went out there and swung the bat every day, fought back against the oppo drops against her, did a great job. And if she does win tonight, you are going to see some people in MAGA world tomorrow looking for jobs in like sanitation and hotel room service and things like that, because they've spent so much money on this race.
They have. They shouldn't have had to, but they've had to.
They did.
All right, folks, we're going to see you again next Tuesday. I'm Rick Wilson, your host, as always. Thanks so much for Joe Trippi and Ryan Wiggins for joining me tonight. You can catch me on the Lincoln Project podcast, the Enemies List podcast, the Elephant in the Room podcast. I'm gonna merge some of these freaking podcasts soon. And Tuesday nights here on the Strategy Session, Thursday nights on the Breakdown, Friday mornings at 10 a.m. East Coast time with Andrew Wilson on Behind the Numbers, where we talk about the polling of the week. And this week, it's going to be a bloodbath. Folks, thank you so much. Catch you again next week.